Hey, warriors. Okay, so again, I'm going to address something that, first of all, people that don't know what they're talking about shouldn't talk about it until they have either experienced it or they at least go research it and put out facts. Do you know what I mean? I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but that's what I do. I mean, and when I have an opinion, I literally tell you guys, this is my opinion. I keep coming across, it just gets me, because there's so many people that are putting out videos that are really trying their damnedest to help other people. And I'm one of them. And then you got people that are literally getting on here and talking about things in this type of space just to talk about them because they're wanting to get popular on these platforms. Whatever, if that's what you need to do. But dude, at least be honest about it. Say, hey, I'm only talking about this because I'm trying to get clicks. I would, if that's what I was doing. Legit, that's what I would do. Seriously. Point is though, is there is people there's a question that I've seen quite a few times, and the reason I'm irritated about it is because I heard it out of somebody's mouth who gets on here and pretends to know what they're talking about. And that is what's got me so damn irritated. I'm not saying people are wrong for asking questions. I'm not. That's not what this is about. But if you don't know the answer to the question I'm about to tell you, then you should be talking about this. Plain and simple. Okay, now I'll shut up now. The question I'm talking about is being asked, like I said, I've seen it in a few different places. What about people with limited mental capacity? How are they supposed to ascend? I'm going to say this clearly, okay? That question alone shows a misunderstanding of what this actually is. Because this has nothing to do with intelligence. I swear, nothing. Ascension, growth, awakening, whatever you want to call it, is not a mental process. I mean, I just cannot. I can't. I just can't. You know? Um it's not about how fast you can think or how much you know or I don't know how well you can explain things, how confidently you can do it too. I mean, come on. That's the mind. The mind, and the mind is not what leads this. I don't get it. What actually matters is your heart. Okay? Your heart. Your capacity for presence, for compassion, for connection, for sincerity. There are people who can barely explain, okay, their thoughts, okay? But they are deeply present, grounded, real, kind. And then there are people who can talk about this stuff and explain it all day long, okay? But they are reactive, they're disconnected, and they're completely in their heads. Who do you think is closer? So, I'm serious. Who do you, out of those two things, who do you actually think is closer to ascension? Because this isn't about, you know, I guess, sounding aware. It's about actually being aligned, living aware, living in embodiment. You know, an alignment, it doesn't come from intellect. You know, it comes from a lot of things, but it comes from how you show up. You know, how you treat people, how you respond to life. You know, not how much you can analyze the shit. I, you know, if anything, over intellectualizing it is, you know, can actually, I guess, pull you further away, you know, because you stay in your head instead of dropping into what is real. Let's stop measuring this by mental ability. Okay? Because that's not the fucking scale with this, guys. That question is ridiculous. You know? The real question that people should be asking is, can you be present? Can you actually be genuine? You know? Can you meet life without constant resistance? I'm irritated. But that is what matters, you know? And the shit thing is, I guess the good thing is those things are available to everyone. You don't have to pretend like you know what you're doing, because you have the ability to actually figure it out. I mean, you know, no matter where somebody is mentally, you know, doesn't really matter. This isn't exclusive. You know, it never was. I don't know. People aren't being left behind because they can't fucking think enough, dude. I mean, you know, if anything, you know, some are closer because of the fact that they're not trapped in their damn heads. If you really want to get literal about it, you know, I don't know. If you're not, which whatever. Let's correct this, okay? You know, this path is not about becoming more in your head. It's just not. You know what I mean? It's about becoming more real. You know, and that right there has absolutely nothing to do with intelligence. Love you.